Investigators still can't understand why the crew of Flight 3054 left an engine at full power after touching down.
I can't believe that this pilot would make that kind of mistake.
The crew left the right engine lever at full power after the Airbus landed.
Turn! Turn! Ah! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Colonel Camargo brings in human factors investigators Lieutenant Colonel Marcia Faja and First Lieutenant Vanessa Diaz.
Pilot is Enrique Stefanini Di Secco, age 53, from Sao Paulo, 13,654 flight hours.
The pilot, who was in command, was a very experienced pilot. He knew the aircraft very well.
His first officer was Aguiar Kleber Lima, age 54, from Puerto Velo, 14,760 flight hours.
He had enough training to do a good job, including in an emergency situation.
Machines are straightforward because they work in predictable ways. Humans are infinitely more complex in the way they think and act. It's much harder to analyze their behavior in an accident.
How could a guy that knew the aircraft, that knew the correct procedure, that executed a correct procedure, how could he do something different?
It doesn't seem to make sense. The human factors team turns to the cockpit voice recorder, or CVR.
I have some good news for you. The runway at Congonhas.
They need to understand the pilot's state of mind as they approach Sao Paulo the night of the crash.
The CVR enables us to get an idea of the interaction between crew members.
They learned that Captain Stefanini was quite concerned about the runway conditions.
Ask him about the rain. The runway conditions. Is the runway slippery?
Tam, on final approach. 2 miles away. Could you confirm conditions?
It's wet and it's slippery, 3054.
Wet and slippery.
The pilot is already tense, and then he finds out that runway conditions are worse than usual, slippery and rainy.
Investigators theorize that in reaction to deteriorating conditions at Congonhas,
Wet runway, 1 reverser. I'm gonna buy us some runway and use the old procedure.
he was trying to ensure that he'd have as much distance as possible to stop on the notorious runway 35L. But he made a costly error.
The tension can affect the pilot's perception, his concentration.
35L, 35L.
Under those circumstances,
Remember, we only have 1 reverser. We have 1 reverser, manual flight, wet, slippery. 1 reverser, manual flight.
it is completely understandable that he had tried a former procedure and under such a pressure made a mistake.